Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's lesson, we're going to be learning about branding. I'm really excited about this lecture, especially if you're a non-designer. Please pay attention to the end as this lecture will help you for our coming lessons when we get into design proper. So let's get started. So what is a brand? A brand is more than a logo. It is the feeling people get when they interact with your content or business. And you have to understand that branding is an ongoing process. So I see a lot of people get a logo from a designer or they get colors and that is all. They have finished their branding. No, branding is more than just those elements of your brand. Yes, those elements are parts, but they are not the entirety of what your business or personal brand stands for, right? So this colors, these fonts, this imagery, they are to help you harness your brand. But your brand is more than just what people see. It's how they feel about you, your customer service, the way you respond to your client, and all of those things encompass branding. But we're going to be focusing on the visual aspect for this training. So why does branding matter? It helps you build recognition over a period of time. So there are people who have built recognition, their brands over decades. So we have the likes of Coca-Cola, we have the likes of so many brands we look up to today, and these brands have built their reputation over a long period of time. So like I said, it's an ongoing process. You keep refining, you keep changing your USP, you keep doing all these things till it feels just right for your audience. Then it helps you create consistency across all platforms. It also makes your content look professional and it helps your audience connect with your values. So if I keep seeing a certain color or typography over a long period of time, I'll be like, oh, this is this person's brand or this is that company, right? But more than just that, I also feel a certain way because of the color choice or because of the font choice, right, that this brand has decided to go with. So we have to understand that there's psychology, deep psychology behind branding, right? So colors that you use for your brand, the fonts you use, the images that you use are really important because they invoke a certain feeling. So there are colors you see and you feel happy, and there are colors you see you just feel sad. You just don't know why you feel sad. This is because there's psychology backing it up. Also fonts, some fonts can be used to pass different messages. Like I can say I love you in this font and you feel happy, and I can say I love you in another font and you feel really scared as if this person wants to kill me. So all these things are psychology, right? And also images. There are some images that make you laugh, some can make you cry, maybe of children, less privileged. It can just touch you, right? So all these things are backed up by psychology. I'm going to be leaving a link in the description detailing how psychology backs up branding. So learning how to align your visuals with how you want your audience to feel is a very powerful tool. And in the coming slides, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can do that. So there are some common branding mistakes you need to avoid, especially if you want to build something reputable and something long-lasting. First is using too many fonts and colors. A lot of people use too many fonts and colors because they just want the design to pop. But you have to understand that just using two fonts or using one color in your design will still make it pop as much and it will make it look more professional. So it is not about the quantity of fonts or colors you use in your design that is a determinant of how beautiful it will look. It is actually obeying basic design principles that will help you out. Then low resolution logos or mismatched styles. So either you're exporting from Canva or you're exporting from another tool, using low resolution images or even your logo can misrepresent your flyer design or whatever you're posting on social media. So it's always good to use high quality images for everything you're doing. Then inconsistent voice and tone. So more than just the visuals, it is also in the way you speak to your audience. So today you are sounding friendly tomorrow you are sounding very professional and uptight. Next tomorrow you are sounding a certain way. So your tone of voice has to be professional. If it's professional, let it be professional. If it's relatable, let it be relatable. And how you can, in case you don't know your brand tone of voice, you can use ChatGPT to actually find out the best voice or tone for your particular brand. So it's something you can explore. The next thing is designing without knowing your target audience. So I would always say this: every design has its purpose, and before you start designing, it is always essential to have a goal in mind. So don't just open your Canva app except you're just practicing and you want to get better at Canva. It is always essential that you know why you're designing and who you're designing for and what age group, what is their status. Are they students or are they married women with children? Do they have finances to purchase your products? Are they trying to find something affordable? All these things determine how you design. So branding is more than just putting colors together and putting fonts together. Then the last thing is ignoring mobile friendly designs. So there are some people that they don't understand that, okay, most of their target audience will be viewing on their mobile phones. There are some of you that your brand, majorly people that will be viewing from their laptop. So these are different things to consider when designing, and it is really, really important to consider these things as you're putting yourself in the shoes of your target audience, making it more effective and making you speak their language. So there are 5 key components of a great design. So every design, I can say it here, every single design you see on the internet today that you love have 5 strong pillars. Now, one can be missing maybe because the designer decided not to add it, but these 5 pillars are usually seen in almost any design that stands out. The first one is color. The colors you pick are super important. For example, if you're into finance, you might pick blue. If you're into agriculture, you might pick green. You must understand that there are different shades of these colors, and light green or mint can mean something totally different from deep green. So always do your research when you want to pick a color for whatever you're starting. Either you're a small business owner or you're a social media manager and you're trying to create a brand for somebody. Always do deep research. Like, take as much time as you need to do research on colors, because the color you pick will determine how your audience interact with it in the long run. So color is one of the most important aspects of a great design. Next, we have typography. So we have serif font, we have sans serif font, script font, slab serif, and display font. These are the major 5, and you must understand that these have different values. So for the serif, it represents trust, respect, tradition, elegance. Sans serif is straightforward, modern, clean, minimal. Script is fancy. It represents happiness, elegance, creativity, and all. Slab serif is versatile, confident, solid, and natural. Then display fonts are casual, fun, unique, and they have a personality, right? So these are the kind of research you should be doing. And how can you do this research? With a simple Google search on the best font for a particular industry. You can get all these things right at your fingertips. There are articles almost everywhere that are well detailed on the best font to pick for anything. So you must understand that branding is more of research than actually designing something pretty, because all these things help you know that, okay, whatever you're designing can stand the test of time. Another thing is imagery. Now, I'm not the only one that loves a clean photo, right? So I'm a kind of person that when I'm designing, I don't skip the search for images. There are sometimes I'll spend hours just looking for the right image for my design, and until I find the image that captures what I want to communicate in that design, I won't start designing. So I spend hours sometimes looking for the right image that is clean, that is clear, Yes, there are a lot of images that are clean, but by the time you put it in Canva, they are very blurry, and then they just make your design look unprofessional. So I always look out for clean and clear images to use in my design, because this is one of the key components of a great design. Like, you can't skip it, except you don't want to use images. But if you're looking to use images, always look for the ones that are HD, that are high quality, and it just makes your design look better, right? And also, the design, the whatever image you're adding should complement what you are trying, the target audience. So if I'm doing something for people in pharmacy, I shouldn't have a design of somebody in a with a cutlass, right? So whatever you're doing should match whatever you're talking about in that flyer, or whatever it is you're designing for. Another thing is layout. A lot of people misunderstand layout in design, and that is why there are some designs that you see, they look good, but then you just know that something is off. Like, the way this thing is arranged is not supposed to be arranged like this. Now, there is no hard and fixed rule for mastering layout. How I mastered layout is through observing good design. So randomly, I'll just go on Pinterest or other sites that I find inspiration. I'll sit with it and notice how people are designing, and then try to replicate it in my own design. So most designs that are out there, they might get the color right, they might get the typography right, they might even get a nice image, but when it comes to arranging, it is where so many people find it difficult. And the key to doing it is to keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. Then lastly is content. Content is so important. It is one of the most important in what you're communicating, because it's the starting point. So before you even get a color, before you get typography, before you get imagery, before you figure out which one you lay out and all of that, how you lay out your design, you have to get the content first. Like, what do you want to say to these people? Is it we're having a special offer, or we're having this webinar, or we're doing this, or we're doing that? This is like the basic, the starting point of everything. And what I usually do is I try to get the content I'm going to use before I start designing. This helps me in having a creative direction, right? So I don't just start designing in Canva and picking a random photo. No, I have all the content I'm going to be using, the heading, the subheading, the call to action, and all of that. So by the time I open Canva, I am inspired by the templates, and I also know exactly what I want to do. So these are the 5 components of every great design you see out there. So I want to give you a personal assignment. This is not something you submit, but start noticing how amazing designs are being made. So once in a while, you can go on Pinterest and just look out for flyers. Type a particular flyer for what you like to design for, and just look at how people are currently doing it. Take note of what people are doing. This will really help you in so many ways, because I believe that we create from what we see. So having inspiration for whatever you're designing for is super important. So I'll see you in the next lesson.